Fräulich esta lale, fräulich, fräulich, fräulich. Bosa!
And you worked pretty hard.
Let's eat.
You worked pretty hard to get that down. I mean,
I nailed it.
How many times did you rewind the show to memorize that?
It was a good 2.5 hours. I couldn't put a number on it, but
You did great. Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name's Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
what's going on, everybody?
And Pat, the producer of the podcast, behind the glass, pouring Pinot Grigio. Pat, how are you?
Wonderful.
Guys, we've got hometowns. We've got frickin' hometowns, baby. This is the episode we've all been waiting for. It's our favorite episode of the season. Guys, general thoughts. Let's jump into it. Nick Davis.
All in all, pretty enjoyable episode. I will say this round of hometowns kind of lacks some of the weirdness I like to see to really make them pop. I mean, we didn't have Dean's dad. There was no eating on the floor.
Right.
I'm going to give it 63 knots.
I'm going to say overall I enjoyed it. I'm going to have to disagree with Nick a little. There definitely was some weird family stuff going on there. Luke's family, they look
Terrifying.
like they look like they speak in tongues and like shake snakes and dance with them. They're fucking weirdos.
Terrifying. The hills have eyes. Let's get to Westlake, California. Our first hometown. That's Peter's.
Westlake Village, California.
Okay, Nick from Waukesha, Wisconsin.
I'm from La Crosse, not Waukesha.
Thank you for the correction. Important correction. You know, we start off with some really cool candid shots of bees and flowers, pollination, kind of a little metaphor, double entendre there. And we also get really cool shots of Hannah sitting on a bench.
That sitting on the bench scene, the producer came up to Hannah. They were like, look worried, then look hopeful. And to be honest, she nailed it.
So Peter walks out of the forest, or wherever the fuck he came from, and
Great question. Great observation.
She runs to him, and he gets the full leg wrap around.
Yeah.
Now, in her OTF, that's on the fly, where cameras just speak to her.
Which is not what it's called in reality television.
Oh, it's not?
Well, no, I think we've just been incorrectly saying OTF for like 3 years now, but...
I feel like that's been a term that's been used. I don't think it's on the fly. That makes sense.
Okay. Pat?
In the ITM, in the moment, is also a thing.
Yeah, I thought it's ITM.
Okay. Well, on camera, she notes when he's not there that when she was a little girl, her Ken doll, her version in her mind was Peter.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought, because I don't have too much time to make fat jokes about Peter, if he was your Ken doll, you'd need a little more actual plastic to make a mold of that doll.
Yeah, I've never seen an obese Ken.
Nor do we have an obese Peter. He's very thin. Downright handsome. You know, she gives him a big leg wrap around.
I had huge 6 U's.
6 U's?
Huge leg wrap around.
Yeah.
Huge leg wrap around.
Yeah. I love Peter. You know, listeners of this show will know my fandom for him. But if he does not get the crown, I think it will be because he's a little too nice guy. Calm down. You know,
He's a goober.
he's an absolute goober. But he's got to be... He's just got to lay off a little bit. He needs to be not so into her. I know he doesn't say I love you. He's the only sane person that won't say that. But he is very, very, high school crush with her, and he needs to calm down a little bit. He should have taken one of your classes, Pat.
Goddamn right he should have.
All right.
Oh, you know what else I would have taught him during my class?
Yeah. Plier with liquor.
Well, besides that,
It's academic.
you're
No
on
pun
a
intended.
date, and that little lady starts rifling through your personal items in your fucking car. You DTB.
What does that mean?
Dump that sweet
You
little...
literally would break up with her because she opened your center console.
Oh, dude, I had it happen. I mean, it happened to be my phone that the little lady went through when I was in 7-Eleven.
Why are you saying little lady?
Well,
I gotta say, I'm just happy because I was very fearful that DTB was going to be an initialism that ended up with Peter striking Hannah.
Yeah, acronym for abuse. Yeah.
And thank God that's not where that ended up.
Well, I just really want to quickly take stock of Peter. Shame on her for being such a nosy bitch. But I do want to say, right out of the gate, we see that car, and that's a nice fucking car. So anybody who was half intelligent would pick him now.
Yes.
Now. He has a career. He has money. He's bilingual. He's faith-based, but he's not psychotic. Piggybacking off that, he facts. I mean, he's not a fucking pent-up murderous virgin like Luke. Mm-hmm. All good things. All great things.
100% agree with you. Yes, I make all those chubby jokes, and yes, he's gotten thinner. He is a nice guy. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I kind of liked his family too. But again, not to get ahead of myself.
I've always called him good on paper goober Peter.
You've not always called him. Literally the first time I've ever heard that. All else, I'm just going to say, if she does not pick him, I'm going to have a complete knipshit. They go flying.
Before they go flying?
Yes.
I thought that whole condoms thing, our baby birds were squawking in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Lucas Dube, hey Delp.
Yeah.
He had a theory that that was a little product placement by Mercedes and it wasn't actually Peter's car.
Wow.
And then on top of that, it makes you wonder if that condom thing was a little cooked. The producers planted it in there.
A little cooked, yeah. Also, hey, Daub, take off that tinfoil hat, buddy. Don't be so cynical. Anyways, let's get to the skies. Now, before they hop on the plane, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. People in relationships know that a butt slap is an important step in a relationship. When you can appropriately and lovingly smack a butt, it means that the relationship is solid. It really does. You can't just do that to people you don't know that well.
That's very true. Yeah, I like that as a benchmark.
It's friendship between two people who are sexually attracted to one another. It's a very unique handshake.
I agree 100% with that. I love slapping my wife's ass. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's get to the skies. Peter's flying a plane.
Called it.
Okay. Let's get to this.
Called it.
Nick did call this.
Yeah, Nick did call this. It's also...
save it. Pat, why don't you hit us with the clip? What do you think the chances are we see Peter, the remaining pilot, take her up for a flight this season?
On the wings of love, only the two of us.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
That was really, really good. Better than Jed.
That was episode 1, right when we saw him come out of the limo and give his extra pair of wings to Hannah B. Called it. And I will say that clip had everything. It had my incredible prediction. It had Patrick singing and you shitting on Jed.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, it's one thing to make the call that he's going to make it to hometowns. I'll give you credit on that. But calling the him taking her up in a plane is just not that impressive. I mean, I think everybody saw that from a mile away.
I think I'm Nostradamus. And
wow. That was impressive.
I've said it before.
To who?
To whom?
Now, gentlemen, I'm going to be full of stats tonight, okay? Because I like to do research and I love numbers, okay? I don't like these little biplanes, things with fucking wings on them, these small things with two people can fit in them. I think it's very dangerous because I watch the news every night like an old person.
Yeah.
And every night there's a goddamn news story like, tonight, a plane crash in a community, 1 dead, and then they just whoa. That seems horrible.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how horrible it was. Now, the type of plane that Peter was flying tonight. According to ABC News, there is an average of 5 small plane crashes a day in America, resulting in approximately 500 deaths annually. Jesus Christ, why are we letting all these idiots getting up in those planes?
Who is that celebrity that got in a plane crash?
That celebrity? You mean Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
Hold on.
I couldn't remember.
I was thinking about this driving over here. Think of small planes, just musicians. And I know there's going to be some old ones that maybe you guys don't know. Right, I can rifle them off my head.
The people from Almost Famous, Stillwater.
All right, thank you. But
We Are Marshall.
Truth. Hold on. No, that was a sports team.
John Q.
No, hold on.
He held up a hospital.
Shit.
Buddy Holly, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Randy Rhoads. Those are three.
You
right
were
there.
running out
Leonard
before
Skinner.
you got to
Hold
Randy
on.
Rhoads.
Leonard Skinner.
Jimmy Buffett.
No. A bunch of Bob Denver.
Gilbert O'Sullivan.
Who's that?
Alone again, naturally. No, I think he's alive and well.
My point is, you could just say a bunch of musicians that have died in planes, small planes like that.
Aaliyah, Princess Aaliyah.
James Taylor.
I mean, the list goes
What are we
on
listing?
and on.
Musicians that have died in small planes.
All right, can we please move on? Let's just remember that Peter has not crashed the plane. He's flying a fucking plane.
He will, though. There will be that day.
In the skies, which, if you didn't know, is far more impressive than playing the fucking guitar. And not playing the guitar well. Even if you shredded the guitar, still be more impressive. You're a pilot, you fly in the skies. He plays guitar like a goddamn open micer in Silver Lake. I mean, he's terrible.
Dylan, I am so glad you said that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Should I save it to attack him later?
Yeah, just save it. Keep it holstered, baby.
But the fact is, we're all in agreement. Plane, way more impressive than guitar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like for some reason she's not that into it when she's up there. Did you guys get that vibe?
I think she was kind of turned on.
Yeah, I was
You think?
surprised she
Yeah.
wasn't giving him a handy.
Okay. Let's meet the family.
Hold on.
Whoa, okay.
There was a commercial when we cut to the commercials in this show. I don't know if you guys just fast forward through them.
I did see it.
Tia did a commercial.
Oh, wow.
Looking beautiful, I might I add.
Oh, so beautiful. Nick, what was it? Was it like some kind of cookies or oatmeal or whatever the fuck it was, or some protein bars or some shit? My wife turned to me and she's like, why do they use these Bachelor like has-beens? And I said, because when you are an ad company, you want people to watch your commercial. So when it goes commercial break after a segment on The Bachelorette, and they see the audience sees Tia, they go, "Hey, I know her. Holy fuck!" And the next thing you know, it's a car commercial, and now you were invested in a full 30-second commercial.
Pat, I want you to know I've always thought of Cherie, your lovely wife Cherie, as very capable and intelligent woman.
Yeah.
How the fuck did she not know that? No shit. That's why they put Tia in a commercial during The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
It's
I
pretty
know.
black and white.
Yeah, that's like calling that Peter was going to fly Hannah at some point.
Nowhere in the same realm.
Nick, after I was done explaining to her exactly what you just said, not the exact words, but the same sentiment,
Yeah.
I said, look, she's non-union, okay? This is reality TV. They can get her cheaper.
All right, can we meet the family, please, for Christ's sakes? Pat,
On the wings of love.
Pat, who do we have here?
All right, so we got little brother Jack. We got Barb's, that's the mom, or Barbara. And then the dad's name is Peter.
All right, well, this is a pretty low-key family. 2 sons, mom and a dad. They seem like normal people. Father looks like he was part of the Manson family, but other than that, they seem like a pretty normal gang.
He looked like something out of the Manson family, but I think if you cleaned him up, he would look like the epitome of a pilot with that thick mustache and his head slicked back.
He was a pilot.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If you cleaned him up, like and put him in that uniform, you'd be like, oh, that's a pilot.
Right.
I guess anybody in a pilot's uniform, you'd be like, oh, that's a pilot.
No,
But I guess
if I saw Pat in a pilot uniform walking onto a plane, I'd be like, at the very least, I don't want to hear this guy's announcements. And 2, we're going to die.
That's fair. That's fair. And also, Peter's dad being named Peter makes it him, Pete Weber Jr. And I said early on in the season, I was confused because I thought we were going to be seeing Pro Bowler, the bad boy of the PBA, Pete Weber Jr. I should have pulled that clip too.
I was going to say, is this another Nostradamus thing?
They were mere seconds apart. I could have.
All right, so we sit down to dinner and something truly terrifying happens.
Fröhlich sei das Abendessen, fröhlich, fröhlich, fröhlich. Mahlzeit! Let's see!
Fröhlich, esta lale, fröhlich, fröhlich, fröhlich. Bosa!
And you worked pretty hard.
Let's eat.
You worked pretty hard to get that down. I mean,
I nailed it.
How many times did you rewind the show to memorize that?
It was a good 2.5 hours. I couldn't put a number on it, but
You did great. So this is really, as I said, this is really terrifying.
To her.
To me.
Oh.
She seemed semi-unfazed.
Yeah, Pat, what were your thoughts about this?
Well, mixed feelings. I hated it.
Yeah.
But only because I'm jealous. This family loves one another. They have rituals that they want to share with outsiders.
I would say that you've had a shaky past. Maybe it's not the most filled with love, but there's a spectrum, Pat. You don't need to scream at a dinner table in order to convey love for one another and closeness.
No,
it's fucking crazy.
Dylan, I agree with you, but I was starting to think like maybe if my parents had stayed together, it all would have worked out. Like maybe I would have been a pilot instead of a guy who shows up and talks about a reality TV show at 9.
Yeah,
I think you're failed. I think you're doing well, Pat. You're Ubering. What are you going to be on pace for 3,000 trips this year?
A lot of miles. And the best part about it, you've seen so much of the city.
That's like 8 trips a day.
Yeah. Okay, lunch is over, and Pete sits down with his mom. Pat, you have any thoughts on this?
All right, just a couple bullet points here. Mom's really involved in Peter's life, which is a good thing and a bad thing because it makes him a little soft, in my opinion.
He's a softie. He's a goober.
When your mommy loves you this much, it's I don't know. It could go either way.
Yeah.
She says, "Tell me everything, Peter." He says, "Well, it's pretty hot and heavy when we get together."
He does not say that.
Well, he says there's a lot of fire and passion, which means he likes to crawl on top of her.
I felt it was synonymous, what he said and what Peter said.
And he says he's falling like crazy. And then she says, "Does she love you?" And he says, "I don't know." Personally, my feelings are she doesn't love him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'll get to that later. I have some opinions.
I think that he just is he's one of the few sane people that we've seen on this show in some time. He says he hasn't told her that he loves her because he's known her for 3 months.
And he's normal.
Yeah, he's normal. And he's also concerned about, or not concerned, but like kind of throwing up the power to the fact that there are 3 other guys and he's in a competition. Like he's acutely aware of that.
Yes. And I think it's also in the back of his mind, like it is so easy to get laid as a pilot, and now a pilot who is on The Bachelorette. There's going to be a lot of temptation ahead. Do I really want to get married?
I think he's looking for love, Nick. I think he's looking for love.
This hometown was pleasant, was it not?
Mm-hmm. There's really nothing to say, and we've talked for 30 minutes.
His family is incredible. Mm-hmm. I like that we break down each hometown minute by minute.
May I mention that at the conclusion of this date, he tells her he's, quote unquote, starting to fall so friggin' hard for her. There's no official L-bombs dropped on either side. So we got to track the leg wraparounds and where the L-bombs are being dropped to know where we really stand.
Patrick is that Zach Galifianakis from Hangover meme.
Yeah.
But his equation that he's seeing is leg wraparounds and roses and
that was
L-bombs.
A very vivid picture you just painted there. I did want to make 2 points about this.
I don't know if you're sarcastic or not. I'm going to like to think that you weren't.
So I do want to say 2 things. One, rewinding a little bit. I'm sorry I didn't bring this up, but I'll just say again, we talk about it every year. The Bachelorette just has it so much easier than The Bachelor. When Peter's mom is talking to her, it seems like she doesn't want to intrude on like the polyamorous aspect of this.
Oh.
She's like kind of tiptoeing around it, where if you're the Bachelor, the father's just like, you're dating 3 other girls. Like it's just hammered if you're the Bachelor, deservedly so.
I think what you're picking up on is that Peter's mom is a swinger. So she's super chill with multiple partners. You're misreading it.
Thank you. And then also, I just want to say about this, you're 100% right. I can't believe I didn't speak that because that's what my mind's eye saw. Also, if I was the Bachelorette or the Bachelor, the person who has not said I love you yet, I pick you.
That's the one you pick.
It's crazy that there's this quota. And you think that these people are kind of like pure blank normal canvases when they start, but by the end they all like buy into this process so heavily, and they need I love yous from everybody. It's bizarre. Let's go to the next hometown, Jupiter, Florida. This is Tyler's hometown, and he comes down to the dock looking hot as fuck and chill as fuck.
It's like he lives on another planet.
They get out on the what?
Jupiter?
Oh, nice. Nice.
Jupiter, Florida is a golf haven. I mean, that is where you live if you are a golfer. And many of the best golfers in the world are from Jupiter, Florida. Brooks Koepka, Tiger Woods. You ever heard of him? It's a filthy place called Jupiter, Florida. It's bizarre. What's in the water?
My wife had to correct me on this. I thought Tyler was the golf pro.
No, man, that's Garrett.
Yeah.
And Grant.
So I fucked up. But with your golf thing, my wife had to correct me on that.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry I talked about golf. Let's get out onto the water. They sunscreen one another. Very hot. Also, tacky bikini from Hannah.
You think so?
Yeah, I thought it was boring beachwear. I think she could have done it a lot better. Looked like she got off the rack at fucking Sears or Ross. Oh. That's what I think.
You can find some great deals at Ross.
You could find some great deals at Ross. Great deals.
Go to Marshall's, even better.
Picture frames, only place I go. Marshall's.
Same.
I go there for wine glasses. As we're on this boat driving around in the bay or wherever the fuck, the river in Florida, you never fucking know. He points to his house. I guess that's the house he lived in.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I felt really bad for him. That's where he used to live. And then 3 minutes later, we get to see where his family still lives.
Right.
Boy, what a hard scrabble life.
Yeah.
I mean, God, you had to move out of that lakefront property to what would be the equivalent of a mansion.
Right. Yeah, no, times are tough. You know, I can't remember what you call them, like the causeways, you know, in Louisiana and Florida.
The bayou?
They kind of move in and out of inland and the ocean. I forget.
Well, it's brackish water. It's a mixture of fresh water and salt water.
It's in Where the Crawdads Sing. It's a good book. Read it. There's nothing here between them.
Except physical attraction.
Yeah, there's physical attraction there, but forgive me for saying this. I know this may sound crass, but I don't think she's attractive enough for him.
Well, Dylan, I'm glad you brought that up. I had some thoughts about him. Because some people have been saying, like, oh, he'd make a great bachelor. But he's 25, too. And one of my main concerns about the last 2 seasons of this franchise is, why are we going mid-20s? Let's get back to the early 30s.
Or the Danish painter. Danish painter for Bachelorette. Don't you remember?
All right.
Normally, I'd agree with you, but I think Tyler is wise beyond his years and would handle the role of the Bachelor exquisitely.
His name's not Tyler W. It's Tyler C. Wise he is not. Had you wrapped up a point, or were you trying to make a point there?
Well, my point was living in Florida, 25, general contractor is his occupation. Obviously,
not anymore. He's a thotty.
Oh, he's a thotty.
Yeah, he's an Instagram model now. He's an influencer.
Oh,
and he's going to in the future be with some of the most beautiful women. I mean, other thotties. They're super people that have no substance and only looks. And Hannah is not as attractive as those people. And those are the people that he'll be having sex with.
That is so incredibly well said, and will definitely be the impetus for a couple of 1-star reviews.
Oh, yeah? You think so?
Yeah.
Bring it on, baby.
But even though it's just perfect logic and absolutely correct in every way.
Yeah. I think so, too. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate the solidarity. All right. So let's just say this really quickly. When she's anxious, she says, I want to know more about what makes person X. She says that every time there's like nothing going on. Like, I want to know what makes Luke or something
it's
like that.
her time for her brain to relax and like eat lunch while someone else is talking.
Yeah. Well, we do learn a fair bit about Tyler in this sit down. He starts talking about his dad, and I felt completely blindsided, like that one Sandra Bullock movie. I had no idea that he went through something life-threatening. I knew that he was a white-collar criminal, but I didn't know that he went through something life-threatening.
Dylan, I'm glad you're saying this. Okay. I have a lot of thoughts on this.
Slickster.
So what they lay on us, and I don't know if they brought this
fast and loose.
Did they bring this up previously?
I'm so often so unbelievably high when I watch the show, I couldn't tell you either way.
Okay, well, if this is the first time they bring it up, here's what happened.
Yeah.
Dad got brought in for surgery. It could be life-threatening. He was very sick. And Tyler hasn't seen him in a number of weeks. Here is my thoughts on that. He says with Hannah, he's like, I'm going to see my dad for the first time in a couple of weeks or something to that effect. Okay. Hey, you piece of shit.
Whoa.
This is your dad who's been in your life, who loves the hell out of you. You're on a reality TV show. Get your ass on a plane and go home and see your dad and make sure he's okay.
Well, I don't know. I think that's like holding him to a pretty high standard.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if the
your dad might die.
Well, if he's recovering and his family's encouraging him to go do this, because what else is he going to do? I mean, you need a platform that fucking six-pack is going to shine on, and General Contractor is not one of those platforms.
Hold on. If I'm Hannah, I'm thinking like, whoa. I'm catching this story. You didn't go home for your dad. What happens with me if I'm not feeling too well and you're on second episode of Dancing with the Stars?
Patrick, she's a soft target. She doesn't think like that. She's a hamster.
I'm trying to make sense of all this.
You say General Contractor's not like a platform where you can look good on. I don't know. I can imagine him jeans, no shirt, hard hat, sledgehammer over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Are we not allowed to judge Tyler based on this information? You leave your dad in a hospital to stay on a reality TV show. You don't think this says anything about his moral compass, his real like aspirations of just being on TV?
Yeah, I think that you could look into it. I think that it's a little bit more complicated than that. I think he was probably recovering, and yeah, he probably should have stayed at home. But again, this is a big platform to a lot of people.
I don't know. Do you think Michael Jordan's dad wouldn't have wanted him to play in the 1993 championship just because he was dead? It's like,
yeah,
Nick, they want him to live their their lives.
Now, Nick, that murder is still, we have no idea who killed his dad roadside in a car, and Michael Jordan could have done nothing about that.
Clouded in mystery.
I had no idea it was that mysterious. Let's meet the family. Oh, but first, they go dancing, and they cut to a filthy old couple, which I'm sure made you irate, Pat. Patrick, your disdain for the elderly last episode shook me. I mean, I had no idea that you hated loose skin that much.
It's not the loose skin. It's just the lack of need for existence.
Oh, wow.
And the condescension, I think, is what he was feeling from the old elderly. Yeah. I mean, your years don't make you sparred. Me, you old fucks. I'll break your hip and throw you in the goddamn ocean.
All right, let's meet the family, huh? We meet Papa Yeah Man, and we see how bad he really is. I mean, he's recovering, but he seems like he was in pretty rough shape. I will say this. Tyler and his father, we all said this off mic. I mean, they melt our hearts, our collective hearts, all three of us. I mean, his dad is just so cute. He's so cute. Again, he's most likely a white-collar criminal paying for his sins, but he is so sweet. He's calling her Miss Hannah B. What a gentleman.
Miss Hannah B., it's great to have you in our family. My wife turned to me at this point. She's like, can we put up subtitles? I can't handle this guy's voice.
Sherry, what a horrible thing to say.
He's like, Hannah B., let me tell you how I embezzled hundreds, if not millions of dollars.
Have you ever heard of subprime mortgages? Okay, so he says just the most wonderful thing. You can't plan for love. It's something that hits you right between the eyes. I mean, is Viola Davis delivering this line, or is it Papa Yeah Man? I mean,
I thought it was a direct quote from Field of Dreams or something. Like, it's
absolutely
a wonderful
incredible
thing.
He bids her adieu, that being Tyler. I mean, do you have any other highlights here, boys, or can we wrap this up?
Oh, well, hold on. Before Hannah B gets in that black limo,
yes,
they start making out.
Yeah, I was wondering, is there a driver in that car?
She fucking straddles him.
Yeah, quickly. like fucking Bruce Lee.
And makes out, and it was kind of hot. The camera was kind of put off to the side. I don't know. Maybe there's a little finger action going on down there or something. I don't know.
Okay. On that note, great evening. Applauses all around.
Hey, may I mention?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know who the winner's who he's gonna be. I didn't get to tell you this. He did not get a full leg wraparound.
Oh.
So I know I'm digressing deep into this podcast.
Burying the lead.
Yeah, seriously. Don't bury the lead like that, Pat.
I should also mention the L-bomb was not dropped before parting as well.
Not looking
good for the equation.
Not looking good. All right, well, let's move on to another young man. We'll see how he fares. But before we do that, let's take a break to hear a word from our sponsors. Today's episode is brought to you by Quacks and Charlatans, a new streetwear company from Jaden Smith. The star of After Earth and Karate Kid 5 has teamed up with 4 of the most sexually fluid, talented misfit designers you've ever seen. This is the most anticipated apparel drop of the summer. Quacks and Charlatans lambasts the norms that chain us to walls of regularity through bright and deliberate style driven and inspired by chakras, the alchemist author Paulo Coelho, and the work of Migos. On July 21st, behind a dumpster in Koreatown, the brand will launch its first pop-up and will feature clothing like a tie-dye crew neck with the brand's trademark rubber ducky reading Dianetics, a beautiful tattered and torn wool shell top with the word reconcile written in the blood of Leah Remini, who through the proceeds of the first soft open has finally been stopped. And who could forget the collection of patches for leather and denim jackets featuring imagery like wolves watching TV, a mouse tattooing Puff the Magic Dragon, and the people of Wakanda taking over Goldman Sachs. So stay tuned for more info on the drop, and remember, we're all blind if we can't see. All right, let's go to Gainesville, Luke's hometown.
Full leg wraparound.
Yeah, I mean, this little denim-clad mushroom of a man picks her up, and they go to Sunday school, because what else would they do? They go to some filthy tavern with...
Tavern? It was like a wood-paneled building. It looked like where bad, horrible AA meetings happen.
Yeah, it had that kind of vibe.
Or a place where a mass suicide is going to be occurring pretty soon.
Yeah.
Heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-jeebies, yeah, heebie-jeebies. The whole thing felt rather cultish. I don't want to shit on Christianity, but, you know, the tavern was filled with these very open, very empathetic, unattractive, Bible-thumping mouth breathers.
There's nothing Christian about mass suicide, all right?
Okay. We hear Luke's incredible story once again of beating off to Christ and crying in the shower.
Now, I don't have a clip, but I have.
Why? We've heard it 5 times. Why would you need a clip?
Well, I have kind of a semi-transcript, which I can give. It's not the same thing, but I've made some notes. May I
yeah, of course.
Tell the audience what I... All right.
Yeah.
Here's this. He basically tells the group what a fucking pig he was. All right. I don't like this. He goes, in high school, it was rough. I mean, rough. I mean, things really got out of hand. A lot of drinking and a lot of sex. And then he says that. And then he ups the ante. He goes, and then in college, it was like the devil's playground. You know, like threesomes, hardcore drugs, and beyond.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, and then my 20s, right out of high school, shit got real. Bukkake parties. I mean, literally so much jizz in the room, it looked like fucking Hoth.
It looked like what?
Hoth.
Hoth, the snow planet from Empire. Okay.
That's my joke.
That's a good joke.
Yeah, it's a good joke. And an even better bit.
Oversharer. I've been in AA. And you got to listen to these horrible losers get up there and tell you like their worst mistakes. And then you sit there. And the only thing solace is, wow, I'm not as big a loser as this person.
Yeah. I think they drink too much black coffee and smoke too many cigarettes. I think that they should calm down. I think that they should be monitoring that.
Donuts too. That's the trifecta.
The trifecta, yeah.
It's literally 4 different addictions: sugar, caffeine, nicotine, and talking about yourself.
Yeah. Narcissism. Very, very dangerous vice. All right. So they break into groups.
But if you're struggling, do just go to a meeting.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The most important thing is to take the first step. 12 will come later. You have to take the first step first.
And let me tell you something. Just call. They'll find a meeting for you. There's someone there for you.
Yeah. All right. So they break into groups. This is just further concerning. There's this one closeted homosexual guy who says that he heard about this giant hulking man. And then when Luke walked in, he knew that was who they were talking about. I have a problem with the definition of hulking giant of a man. I mean, Tyler Chill said it. Got a 5'8" villain. This is a tiny little guy.
And it's also a little redundant.
Yeah.
Hulk's giant.
Then prayer. Should we go meet the family?
Let's do it. I want to meet the family.
Pat, who do we have here?
All right. I'm not sure I have Mom's name, but I called her the Silver Fox.
Yeah, she's very beautiful.
Mike's the dad.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of randos.
Yeah,
in there.
other players. Want to talk about the great grandma first.
Same.
What a hoot. Hates blacks,
Definitely.
but she's a hoot. I mean, she hates African Americans.
Statistically, but you're probably right.
Yeah.
I will say, and I know we've done tinfoil hats before, but I've never been more confident in a theory. I think Luke rented her.
You think?
I don't think Luke has the 90s. That's just an ace in the hole. She was adorable. She nailed it.
You've never been more confident about a theory?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow.
It's great. I know.
Then the
People are
theory
gonna-
that he rented an old lady to play his great grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People thought the Doctor and Back to the Future was crazy too.
This was the most intriguing hometown, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it was fascinating. It was like we were Jane Goodall.
I was confused. I wanted to believe the family because they're so behind Luke. We had a little brother speak about his brother like being a misunderstood person.
Yeah.
But then he kind of verified all the things we've seen. He's like, hey, when Luke lashes out, he's a good person once he's done doing that.
Right.
When Luke gets violent, what you need to know is behind that, he always apologizes. Like he'll come to you and then you're like, oh my God, I love this guy. He's such a nice guy. He didn't mean to do that. And he'll always tell you, hey, I didn't mean to do that. It's pretty insane. And that even his dad
right.
is like defending him, like my son was like portrayed wrongly. You haven't seen this guy. Like
Right.
all this is insanity.
Yeah, it's a petri dish for this kind of crazy thought. Like whatever anyone says about Luke, it's all moot because one, we've seen him behave like himself. And two, he literally gets kicked off the show for saying that Hannah would be impure carnal filth if she had sex with any of
Well,
them.
not to get ahead of yourself, but yes, we've all seen that trailer.
I mean, what are we talking about? Nice guy for?
What we've seen, and these are just a few words to describe him, he's a compulsive liar, which
Yeah.
we've witnessed on film.
Right.
He's not going to get out of that. He's arrogant.
Right.
He's manipulative.
Yeah.
And he's violent.
Really, really annoys me. The hypocrisy within this fucking faction of people. I mean, they talk about him having such a large heart and they all fucking believe it, yet he's a goddamn monster by all accounts. His dad, but they fostered that kind of human being. He sits down with his dad and his dad says something fucking crazy. He says, if she's worth it to you, then she's worth you.
That was insane.
What kind of way is that to live life and look at life? That's fucking certifiably nuts.
Narcissistic, like godly.
Holy shit.
That was insane. And that's how you created this little fucking monster.
Yeah.
For a minute there, I was like, this is like the family from the movie fucking Get Out.
Yeah, totally. It's that kind of like you have dominion over what you want type of mentality that they're breeding in their children. It's fucking scary. It's really fucking scary.
Oof.
Any other highlights?
He drops the L-bomb.
Yeah.
She says, my heart is pitter-pattering or some shit like that. They
Yeah.
kiss passionately. And I thought, boy, her picker's off.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
I won't say it again, but SST. Okay, so then let's move on to Knoxville, Jed's hometown. Oh, God, I'm growing so... I just hate him more and more every time I see him. We meet him, his tiny little head, his ugly little voice, and we do get a pretty big leg wraparound.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full leg wraparound.
Yeah. He's a troll. I mean, he's a little fucking troll. The way, like, he has this little guy thing in his voice. It's disgusting. All right. I don't know. Yeah, Pat?
Oh, I'm going to attack him as a person.
Oh, okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
I never knew how horrible people were created. We'll meet his family. I don't know. I haven't seen it personally. I've listened to his music. I've heard him play live. I guess it's on TV, unedited.
Yeah.
This guy is pretty average. There's not a star here.
Right.
Yet he has a pretty high ego about himself.
Absolutely. I mean, you have to you have to back yourself, but at a certain point, you do have to make a decision. Do I give this up and start another career, or do I walk into the ocean and save humanity from myself? And I think that he should do the latter.
Or plan 3, go work at an insurance company or something. Like, make $22 an hour. It's a living.
The first thing I laid out, but yeah, I like, abandon this. And
I thought you said give up a career, walk into the ocean.
No, well, did I say give up? I meant go start another career, do something, viable, or kill yourself. So, can you believe it? We go to a music studio and they sit down to write a song.
Was the audience with us, Dylan, saying how dare he tonight?
Absolutely. And you know what? Fuck Jed. How dare he? I want to play his new single because we listened to it before the mics heated up. If any of you disagree with us, listen to this song right here. Oh my God.
There's some bad editing right there.
Spending my weekend at the same location. How did this bar turn into an oasis?
Oh my God.
I'm moving in slow motion, eyes deep as the ocean. Let's see where this takes us. You feel like vacation. You take me away from reality.
This is horrible.
Yeah.
That is horrible. Fucking generic, run-of-the-mill, like the most lamest beats. Everything is about that is horrible.
It's like, hey, in 2016, Justin Bieber had that one song that kind of like adopted like the tropical house kind of beat. Let's do that 3 years later.
That's what losers do.
But far worse.
If I had conceal and carry, I would have put a bullet in my head.
What?
Here's
right now.
Yeah, when we played that far too long, that was torture.
Can I say this though?
Apologies.
The family rallying around a 26-year-old hack, like they do. Like, oh, well, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the family. Oh no, let's not. I genuinely think she is more impressed by this than Peter flying the plane. I think that she's having a better time in the studio. She's really impressed by this whole charade.
He thinks he's going to look wonderful here, and all the girls' hearts are melting. But I want to say America, mostly females that watch this show, are going like, this guy is a douchebag. Jed, no one's falling for it, you piece of shit. He's an opportunist. His music sucks, and it's uninspired garbage. And after they get done in the recording studio, she's eating all this up. And Hannah, once again, your picker is bad.
All right, let's move on to the family. Who do we have in the fam, Pat?
All right, so for the family, we got dad is Jerry. Let's see here.
Handsome Gary Busey.
I didn't catch the sister's name, but I called her Bitchy.
Lily. You were close.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people at this fucking family.
Yeah, no. I was wondering as I wrote down with every hometown, Pat, who do we have? I was wondering whether or not you were going to be able to pull that off. It was an unfair thing to thrust upon you. But anyways.
Would have been tight. Would have been a lot cooler if you did.
Yeah, would have been a lot more cool if you had pulled that off.
Sorry, guys.
So they sit down to a lovely lunch in the backyard, and a couple toasts are given. The mother gives a toast, one that caught your ear.
It was ominous, to say the least. Pat?
Here's to everyone trusting their intuition and their gut every day. When you stick to your truth, it's beneficial to everybody. Cheers. That's good.
You fool, Hannah. You absolute fool.
Yeah.
Recognize.
I don't even know what she said, but it was scary.
The mom is very, very combative. I'd go so far as to say she's a real fucking bitch. I mean, they're all saying, essentially, don't be with him. He needs to focus on his
path is different than marriage.
Right. He needs to focus on his open mic quality singing and songwriting. Like, don't endanger my son's bright as a fucking dying star future.
Don't you understand? My son and his giant forehead is going to be slamming poon on the road in small towns across Tennessee.
Yeah.
I live in LA. I know most people that listen to this don't live in Los Angeles. Maybe, but go to your small town karaoke bar on a Thursday or something. There'll be at least 3 people that will sing that night.
Oh, yeah.
That are at the very least equal talent level to this man's voice.
Yeah. Honestly, me and Nick were at an open mic one time, and it was mostly comedy, but there was one kid who got up in rainbow genie pants, and he sang a song that came to him in a dream in a different language. Do you remember that? He was a gay guy. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He was as good as Jed. Absolutely crazy. You'll find these people. They're a dime a dozen. You'll find them at coffee shops at 9:30 at night. This guy is a fucking loser.
Where is the family? Where do they have the balls to be backing this guy? Like, they should be going secretly. Like, they should have all talked in a closet by themselves, like as a family, and said, hey, look, we know this isn't probably going to work out, but imagine the 2 of you together. She's the Bachelorette. You just won. Now she needs to go on tour with you. You could be opening up for Garth Brooks.
That's how Cassie's dad, the new Jenner, would have played it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been the savvy move.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been the savvy move.
Coexist.
All right. So speaking of Cassie's family,
the sister.
Yeah. So they've got a little network of fake Instagram celebrity. This little asshole of a sister is kind of the same, cut of shit.
Yeah, she is. She wants to be popular. Hey, Nick, you found her on Instagram. How many followers does she have with all those photos?
4,000 only. It's early. She's
7,200.
tipping point, though. She's about to pop. She's going to get to like 60K.
Now,
No.
For the audience,
60K.
This is the sister that when she's talking to Hannah says, hey, you think, I don't forget what Hannah asked her, but the sister says, I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Hey, do me a favor, little sister. Take a page out of Tyler Chill's book, huh? Take a chill pill.
Nice.
Jesus.
Wow. By the way, Jed couldn't have coached the family up like, hey, this is for my career. I know you have thoughts on me being the next Elvis, but can you shut the fuck up? The cameras are here. You're going to make me look bad.
Okay, so in summation, Pat, do we get an L? Do we get a leg wraparound?
Great question. Well, we did get the full leg wraparound.
We discussed big leg wraparound for Jed.
Right, but yes, we did. Sorry. Yes, we did in great detail. Leg wraparound. Do we have an L bomb at the end of the night?
I believe it's ambiguous. I
they've
don't know.
already said it a bunch of times, so and it's meaningless anyways. So let's get to the let's get to the rose ceremony. What are we doing here? Why? Should be with our loved ones. All right, so Peter and Tyler. I mean, Pat, I don't want to step on your roll call, but I just feel like it's going to be a short roll call,
I'm excited still.
All right, Pat.
You got to savor them.
Roll call. Who gets roses tonight?
Roll call! Here's who stays! Every guy! This sucks!
Well, you know what? It's the tug of war that's been happening inside all of us watching Hannah this season. It's different, but is it good?
I have a theory. The audience knows this. I think we all know this, but I will put this out there. So Hannah B, the first 2 guys she picks are Peter and Tyler.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are the guys that she does not want, but she'd love to have sex with in the fantasy suites. So that's why she's tugging them along. What her two choices are Luke and Jed, and that is where she's troubled by. And she can't pick. Like, really? Luke or Jed are lesser than Peter and fucking Tyler? Hell no. Those two guys are the ones she'd love to get her last night of little fun in the fantasy suites. And Luke or Jed is the guys that she intended to pick, which is why she's struggling. You tell me if I'm wrong.
Sense.
The audience will love this. That is why she's struggling. She cares about those two guys more, but she knows she needed to get rid of one of them so she can just pick her main.
So you're saying that Luke and Jed are the people that are going to win. If whoever goes between them is going to win the competition.
I'm saying one of those guys will win. That's the two people she's really into. The other two guys are there just for fun.
I don't know that I agree with that. But
it's 100%.
We'll see.
I kind of like that.
Oh, I'll tell you why. Let me wait this. When the fight
English.
When Hannah B is in the back room with Harrison, okay? Tyler C comforts Jed by, you should be the one that's here. Oh, really, Tyler C? If you're really in love with Hannah and you guys have a connection, everyone is your enemy at this point. You want her. That's your girl.
Nah,
You're
man.
comforting each other.
No.
I think it was more because they were doing it right in front of Luke P. They wanted to stick the knife into him. That's why I said it.
If you're here for the
Also-
right reasons and you're into this is your girl, everyone's your competitor. You don't want anybody sticking their dick in her at this point.
Easy, Patrick.
Sorry.
Jesus
I know that was
Christ.
crass. I apologize.
It's a fraternity at this point. There is a sense of brotherhood between them.
Not
and also,
me.
if you really love somebody, you do want to see them end up with somebody who's good, not somebody who's bad for them.
Yeah, and that person that's good is me.
Even though, like, ABC, The Bachelor, they clearly wanted all four of the guys to stay because it ups the drama. I really wish they would have been like, no, absolutely not. If you don't give out one of these roses, we're going to ruin your fucking life.
Yeah.
We own you.
Yeah.
Get out there and do what this show has done for 15 years.
You like walking?
Oh, well, we know where your family lives. We know everything about you.
You like breathing without a tube? Okay, so, yes.
We will hurt your loved ones first.
She takes a step away, throws a hell of a curveball into this whole process. And, I get that Jed is perturbed because the optics of it are, though it doesn't necessarily go this way, as you mentioned, that it's between him and Luke. And she doesn't know who she's going to pick because it's a toss-up. In his mind, he thinks that he's leagues above Luke, which is sad to say, but he is. So I could see how he would be kind of shaking in his britches right now a little bit. But anyways, we'll have to wait till next week to find out what happens. Oh, wait, we already know. But we'll be back next week to break down the... Yes, Nick?
How many do you think she bangs?
Oh, great question.
I hope all of them. She deserves it.
I think I would hope all of them too. Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't bang Luke P.
No, she doesn't. But the three of them.
Okay,
If
yeah.
you're about to get married and you have the opportunity to have sex with three people who are a handsome gentleman, sans Jed and his tiny little fucking cannonball body and head.
But one of them is Luke. One of them is Tyler Chill.
Oh yeah.
You go for it.
Absolutely. You go for it. Not only do you go for it, you have sex with Tyler Chill. You tell Peter to get out of the room. You bring Tyler Chill into that room. Then you go to Jed's room. You tell Jed, get out of the room. You bring Tyler C back into that room. You have sex with Tyler C 3 times. You get married to whoever you want. I don't care.
I like that.
All right. So that's the end of the episode. We'll be back next week. Remember to hop in the ratings and reviews. Leave us 5 stars. Please. We would love you for it. Baby birds, join them. Facebook.com/another Bachelor podcast. We can't thank you guys enough for listening. That's it. Nick's on Twitter at Real Nick Davis, right?
79 knots, I think, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I'm on Twitter at Dylan Pete Wren. Patrick does not have social media. Anything else?
No.
See you next week. I'm
Bye,
Dylan saying
guys.
goodbye.
I like that, though. A lot of times I do.
Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat.
Bye, guys.